First up, the Mythbusters have a viewer request straight from the top.
You know, some viewers may be watching us and thinking, the boys are standing on a very accurate set of the White House Library.
But they'd be wrong.
Indeed, they would be, because this is not a set. This is the real deal, because on today's special episode of Mythbusters, the myth we're busting comes courtesy of a very special guest.
In fact, here he is.
Hey guys, how are you?
Very good.
Good to see you. Welcome to the White House.
Thank you, Mr. President.
It is a thrill to have you here.
So what can we do for you?
Well, I am a big fan of Mythbusters.
Really?
I am, and so are the girls. Partly because we are just fascinated by science. You guys make it fun and exciting and interesting, and occasionally you blow things up, which is always cool. But I have a personal interest in this as president because nothing's more important to our country's future than getting young people engaged in math and science. A lot of the challenges that we face as a country are going to depend on how engaged young people are in science, and so I'm just thrilled that you guys do such a great job making it fun.
Thank you, sir. That means a great deal to us.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, I do know that science requires a lot of trial and error. Part of what Mythbusters is about is testing out various hypotheses, and I think that we've got a big one that hasn't been thoroughly tested.
Which one is that?
Well, it is Archimedes' solar ray.
Well, that is a classic.
It is a classic, and so I'm hoping that we can take one more crack at it.
Okay.
The story goes that Archimedes designed a solar weapon that focused the sun's rays with such ferocity it set an invading Roman navy ablaze. But when the Mythbusters duplicated his ancient design,
It's 280 degrees.
it failed to fuel a fire.
I'm standing right in it, and I'm not dead yet.
So they reloaded the ray with the help of MIT and 300 mirrors.
Look at that!
But that still didn't set this myth alight,
I see a little smoke, but I've seen worse than that before.
which leaves Adam with a burning question.
If you don't mind me saying so, sir, what do you think we actually got wrong on this?
Well, there's one thing you didn't do.
Well, we did use a giant solar mirror array.
And we did use 300 bronze mirrors on shelving units that were aimable.
True.
But we didn't use, what, manpower?
Exactly.
And the Greeks had plenty of access to manpower, so if we could get a whole bunch of people, like 500 people each with their own mirror, we might just be able to test this.
So how do you want us to do that?
Well, I'm going to leave that up to you guys. You're the experts. I'm going to stay here in Washington. I've got a little bit of business to attend to, but I expect you guys to go back to San Francisco, figure this out, get to the bottom of this once and for all, and then report back to me.
We're on it.
The presidential challenge has been issued, and it'll take a crack team of Mythbusters to mastermind this one. Not only will they need 500 stand-in soldiers armed with 500 mirrors, they'll have to find a way to focus 500 beams into a spot small enough to fire up this myth.
The pressure's on, man.
It's quite a challenge, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I'm thinking back to the first time we shot this and the trouble we had getting even 12 people to aim their mirrors on a single spot. Who's that? I think that the biggest single challenge we're going to face in this story is getting all 500 of our soldiers' mirrors aimed on the smallest possible target.
Yeah, we need to come up with some sort of a system, a aiming device.
Yeah, we do. Have you got any ideas?
I do, actually.
I've got a couple myself.
Well, why don't we mock it up in scale and see which one works best?
Perfect, let's do it.
From previous experience, the guys know that the tighter the focal point, the hotter the temperature, and the more chance of flame. So they divide and conquer to take aim on the aim in small scale.
If you're out in the wild with a signal mirror and you're trying to signal, let's say, a passing aircraft, the way you do it is you sight the aircraft up in the sky and then you put your hand directly underneath it. And then you use the signal mirror to sweep the sun across your hand and thus across that passing aircraft.
Adam's idea is to create a hand substitute to wave his beam across.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for, isn't it, little Jamie?
Right down there.
Meanwhile, Jamie is gunning for inspiration.
Now, when I think of aiming and targets, of course, I think of guns. They have gun sights, one here and one here, and if you line those two things up with your bullseye, you know your bullet's going to hit it, more or less.
Jamie's no-fuss solution is a pencil and putty. But unfortunately, there's a problem.
Now let's just see what happens when I move the sun. That's not working. This aiming thing is fine, except for one fatal problem, and that is that the sun moves. Its relationship with this mirror, the sight, and the target is constantly changing. So something as simple as a gun sight on a pistol, it's not going to help us out here.
Jamie's system may be shot to pieces, but Adam's reticule has led him to another discovery.
I don't want to build 500 of these, so I'm thinking actually about stringing some material across the aimers.
It's literally a eureka moment as Adam ditches individual aimers
Wait a minute. Netting.
for something altogether more communal.
Yeah. I think I found the perfect aiming system for our 500 soldiers, and it is stretching a net in front of them along the shoreline between them and the boat. All they have to do is line up and aim their mirror at the spot on the net that they can see the enemy boat, and they should be hitting that boat. It's cheap, it's easy. I think it's ready for a medium-scale test. Don't you, little Jamie? I do.
At the president's request,
I think that we've got a big one that hasn't been thoroughly tested.
Which one is that?
It is Archimedes solar ray.
the Mythbusters are going back to the looking glass.
I think it's ready for prime time. Don't you, little Jamie? I do.
But before their 500 fighters, armed with 500 mirrors, take aim, first, there's pause for reflection.
Now, before we go and implement this aiming system times 500 soldiers, we want to make sure that it works. So we're going to test it in small scale up here on Jamie's roof, and that's where this scrappy band of Greek soldiers comes in. They're going to use their mirrors to try and see just how good this system is. You guys ready? I think they're ready.
I'll be standing right here with my fire extinguisher just in case. And when I give the go-ahead, our 12 mirror holders will have 60 seconds by my stopwatch to redirect the energy of the sun through their mirrors towards the red dot in the middle of the target. At that point, we'll take 2 readings.
This is our stills camera. We'll be photographing both tests with this to find and compare the smallest possible surface area of the beams on the target. This is our thermal imaging camera. It's going to be reading the temperature of both tests, and we're going to look for the tests that give us the hottest and smallest beam.
Okay, no aiming device. Starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
The volunteers swing into action, attempting to focus on the target 100 feet away. And for this control, they'll be aiming without a net.
Try and shake your beam. That's often a really good way to figure out where it is.
30 seconds. Come on, what are you guys doing? Light my fire, come on.
But with 12 beams all vying for the same target, it's hard to tell who's hitting the spot.
You guys are still moving around. Come on, zone it in, dial it in.
And after 60 seconds,
And mirrors down. That wasn't very good at all.
the 2 cameras get the shot.
Here's what I see when I look at both the stills and the thermal imaging camera on test 1. I see in the stills camera a beam that's really diffuse, covering this whole area. On the thermal camera, I see the whole thing being warm. I want to see only this spot warm, not all of this. That's going to give me the chance of fire.
So, will the addition of the netting help our reflective regiment? Cue test 2.
All right, now it's time to find out if this net's going to help their aiming at all. Are you guys ready? Yeah! That's what I like to hear.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Mirrors up. Now, each of you can see your mirror's beam on the net. You want to line up the spot you're making on the net with the heart of the soldier.
30 seconds.
Now remember, the smaller the focus,
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Focus in like that. That's perfect.
the more concentrated the beam and the more heat.
I can feel that. The black is way too hot to touch.
Once again, at the 60-second mark, the data is recorded.
And you're done.
Mirrors down. All right, now we've got 2 tests under our belt, and here's the comparison that I want you to see. First, the stills camera, test 1 and test 2. Check that out. Test 2, a lot more focused, but that is not the one I want to show you. Now for the real fire. check out the thermal imaging camera, test 1 and test 2. Look at that. Look how tight that spot is in test 2. That's the kind of fire I'm talking about. That's telling me that this system works. Well, it looks to me like this stuff works.
It did help their aim.
It did. Let's start production on 500 mirrors.
Soon enough, the Mythbusters will be making rays while the sun shines. They've worked out their aiming system. Now all they need is 500 mirrors, a boat, and a small army of scientists. And at the shop, those 500 mirrors have arrived. Ta-da! Along with 500 bronze mylar sheets.
Ah, that's great. Look at me, I'm all hammered metal.
Not only are the mirrors 3 times the size of their previous attempts, they're also double-sided, so that if the Archimedes-era bronze can't create a flame, hopefully the modern mirrors will.
That's gonna be awesome.
Okay, go.
Crew hijinks aside, it's time for assembly. Ow! But at 3 minutes per mirror, that's 25 hours of building.
Well, that's about 3 minutes.
So they bring in the recruits. With a mirror production line in full swing, Adam and Jamie can turn their attention to the maritime. And at Nelson's Marine, they found the perfect target.
This thing is a lifeboat that was salvaged off of a ship. So when I'm done with it, it's going to be a classic Roman trireme.
It's going to take a lot of camouflage to turn this lifeboat into an ancient mariner. Step 1 is to give it a more aged look.
That ought to do it.
But then it's time to raise the bar and add a mast.
You've done this before?
Yeah.
Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah, we're good.
Jamie!
Hold on. Hold on, we're doing good.
With more knots than a Boy Scout camp, the Mythbusters ensure the mast is securely fastened.
Oh, that's solid. You like it?
That's perfect.
Awesome.
The next step is to add a little Roman flavor.
Look into my eye.
Before finally hoisting the target for our mirror militia.
On sale today. Oh, she rises. Blood-red stripes betide ill upon her enemies.
Well, you know, I think our work is done here.
Nicely done.
With the boat seaworthy, it's time to first find a battle-worthy location before trying to rustle up a 500-strong band of brothers.
This is perfect. Our soldiers along the shore here, our enemy hordes coming out there on the boat. We got a location.
The first port of call is to get a leg up on the aiming system.
In order to help our soldiers aim their beams of sunlight right at that boat, we're going to put up a fence using these rebar posts and this mesh all the way down the line of soldiers.
You can see clearly where it is and is not. You know, that totally works.
Hopefully that's all that's required to set that puppy on fire.
With the aiming network in place,
700 feet of fence, all I can think is one thing. Man, I hope this works.
the mirrors arrive with 700 feet of trestle tables to support them.
Now our first line of soldiers will be crouched down like this, aiming their mirrors at the boat. Our second line of soldiers will be resting their mirrors on this bench and aiming over the heads of the front line.
Now all that remains is for Jamie to don his period-correct safety gear,
Bring on the sun.
Adam to get into character,
That's it. Here we go.
and to rustle up that 500-strong, science-hungry horde. The Mythbusters are testing the presidential theory that more manpower and more mirrors
That's it. That's what I'm talking about. That's perfect.
could create a solar death ray.
I expect you guys to figure this out, get to the bottom of this once and for all, and then report back to me.
Well, as long as they can find the manpower.
Now you may be wondering, where are we gonna find 500 Greek soldiers? Here's where. 500 middle and high school students have graciously agreed to be our Greek soldiers for science. It's on.
It certainly is. So first up, the briefing on taking down the enemy.
You guys are going to play Greek soldiers defending their home city of Syracuse from the marauding Roman army under General Marcellus, played by James Franklin Hyneman right here. Now, your countryman, the great Greek mathematician, Archimedes, has given you a very novel weapon to defend yourselves, the power of the sun. You are going to be lined up on the water's edge in ranks. Evil Jamie, General Marcellus, will be coming towards you in a boat with a black sun painted on its sail. You all are able to aim your sunbeams all at the single spot of the black sun on this sail. You're gonna set his boat on fire and send those Romans home. Are you guys with me? I didn't hear you. Are you with me?
I think they're ready.
They're certainly spoiling for a little ship broiling. So it's time to deploy the troops.
This is crazy.
For the best chance of success, their target will be anchored, and they'll aim at the black sun for two reasons. Firstly, because just like the small-scale test, we want the beams to meet at a focal point to concentrate the heat. And secondly, because with an ignition point of 410 degrees Fahrenheit, the sail is the most flammable part of the ship.
Supposedly this myth happened in ancient Syracuse. We're doing it in the San Francisco Bay Area. Now, as it happens, they're both at a latitude of about 37 degrees north. The difference is that Syracuse was facing the water to the east, and we're facing the water to the southwest. And that means that Syracuse would have had to have done this in the morning, where we can do it in the afternoon, when it's hotter, and that's a slight advantage. Come on, let's see what you got. Light my fire.
Looking good.
Added to that, they've got double the number of mirrors at 3 times the size, which means 5 times the solar power of any previous attempt.
I'm getting a sunburn.
With the trireme 400 feet from the shore,
All right, soldiers, are you feeling me? Give me a hooah!
it's time for 500 bronze mirrors to beam down a Raypocalypse.
In the distance, the enemy ship approaches. To my left and to my right, an army, 500 young men and women strong. With any luck, we will aver this enemy and send them back to their home country. The suspense is totally killing me.
Okay, Greek soldiers. Do you want Marcellus to take your city of Syracuse? Do you want him to own the island of Sicily? No, it's the gateway to the Mediterranean. You've got to aim your sunbeam at that boat now. Get that beam on the center of the sail.
Adam issues the order, and 500 bronze mirrors turn simultaneously to focus their beams on the black sun.
Do you see it on the center of the sail?
Excellent. How do the beams look to you, Captain Marcellus?
Well, I don't see any flames on my boat yet, but those mirrors are really intense. It's like a row of flashbulbs going off constantly.
Jamie's being flashed by the mob, but the trireme remains stubbornly unscathed.
Leaning back, you guys look good. You look like you're in good formation.
So Commander Savage rallies the troops, helping them to pinpoint their target.
Yeah, that's it. See that?
But with the bronze 20% less reflective than the modern mirrors, the results aren't lighting any fires.
No fire.
And after 15 minutes of concentrated bronze beams, the thermal image shows that the temperature on the sail has only risen by 45 degrees. So it's time to up the intensity.
Greek soldiers, I need every single one of you to spin your mirrors around 180 degrees and let's get some glass going at this boat. That's it. Now you start to see how easy it is to see your beam, right? Are you feeling mean? Give me a hooah!
Quick as a flash, Adam's 500 have their modern mirrors focused on the black sun. But will they prove more powerful?
Now that's some brightness. You guys have to hold your beam super steady. It's the only thing that'll save your home city. Do you want to save your home city? That's the kind of energy it'll take, except sun's energy pointed at that boat. That's the spirit, soldiers. I'm Greek, not Scottish. I don't know why I'm talking like that.
500 silvered mirror beams on the sail have already resulted in a huge rise in temperature. They're getting 200 degrees of concentrated heat, but that's not yet enough to ignite the sail.
The intensity I'm seeing from some of these mirrors is just incredible, and yet no sign of fire.
All right, I think you got to start pulling this boat closer to us, okay?
As General Jamie advances on his enemy, Adam realizes his foe is now dangerously close.
Right now, the enemy ship is about 250 feet away.
At this distance, ancient archers would be close enough to start firing.
Keep those mirrors focused. The closer he gets, the hotter he's gonna get. And we may just get some fire. That's it, good.
So, Commander Savage takes one last chance to organize the troops
Flash, 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 I want fire!
and prevent a full-scale Hyneman invasion.
These guys are doing great. We're not getting fire. Archimedes is supposed to have protected his home city of Syracuse by harnessing the power of the sun to set fire to Roman ships by focusing the sun's rays using polished Greek shields. We tried it using 309 of these, assembled in a circular array, and we weren't able to get fire.
I can't help noticing that it's not on fire. 300 mirrors, it should be on fire.
Then some very clever guys from MIT told us that they had succeeded where we had failed, and we brought them out, and we put together 350 mirrors like this, and we focused these at a boat, and still we got no fire.
Well, it's sizzling and cracking pretty good. I don't see any fire yet.
This time we've got 500 of these, 50% more than we've ever tried before, and 500 soldiers to hold them and actively aim them at our enemy ship captained by Jamie, aka General Marcellus. If there ever was a test to determine that polished shields could be an effective weapon of war, this is that test.
This is that test. And with the enemy now only 100 feet away, it's the last chance for Adam and his army to get their solar ray to work.
All right, soldiers, you're doing a fantastic job. I'd like everyone to take their mirrors off the target briefly and take a deep breath with me. Inhale. Exhale. On the count of 3, I want you all to aim your beams at that black sun and keep them as steady as possible. Are you ready? We are doing this for Syracuse. In 3, 2, 1. Aim on that black sun. Hold it steady. Find your beam, keep it centered on that sail. That's it, that's twice as bright as before.
Twice as bright. But to ignite the sail, the focal point will have to reach 410 degrees Fahrenheit. And with the black sun at 230 degrees, that's a long way off.
Look, he's taunting you. We are giving this every possible effort. This is the last chance we have to catch this thing on fire. Oh! Oh no, he's lobbing flaming tennis balls at us. Keep those mirrors on the sail. Ooh, he just took out one of your great cameramen. Are you gonna stand for that? Keep those mirrors focused on the sail.
The tennis balls are flying, and the beams are focused on the sail. But while 280 degrees is impressive, it's still 130 off a sail ignition.
If this was a real war, you just lost, because I got a whole bunch of you guys, and you didn't get one of me.
I think you're right. Why don't you gear down and come on in? I think we got to call this one.
Yeah.
Yep, after over an hour of beaming the sun's rays onto the boat, our 500 soldiers have earned themselves an honorable discharge.
1, 2, 3. You hear that?
I was actually kind of disappointed we didn't set the boat on fire. We've got plenty of sun, we got plenty of mirrors to do the trick. But here's the thing. Mythbusters is about experimentation. It's not about demonstration. And when I was in the middle of this experiment out on that boat with all those mirrors shining in my face, I realized something really important. And that is that they were actually quite distracting and blinding, even painful. And That right there may be the grain of truth at the heart of this myth. Good old Archimedes may not have come up with this trick in order to set a ship on fire, but rather to distract and disorient invading armies. And that says something really important about the nature of experimentation. When we experiment, when we try things and we fail, we start to ask why. And that's when we learn. Let's go tell POTUS.
Okay.
So how'd it go, guys?
Well, it was an awful lot of work, but in the end, the myth was
Busted.
Nice work.
thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for everything you do.
Thanks.
Really enjoyed it.